Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I am bringing you my Rikka deck profile. This is a control style build, which is pretty common for this deck. This is a new deck that came out of the Secter Slayers set, as well as I will be covering Adamancipators coming up soon. We just hit 400 subscribers, so if you guys are not subscribed already to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're interested in any other upcoming deck profiles, we'll also be having a giveaway towards the end of June or beginning of July whenever we get the Toon Chaos set and whatnot. So a lot of stuff going on the channel. But anyways, let's get on into this Rikka deck profile. So starting off, pretty standard, the 3 Snowdrop, the Rikka Fairy. This card is like your basic combo extender. And all it requires is that you have a plant monster on the field, you tribute that, and then you special summon this card along with one other plant monster in your hand. So it unfortunately locks you into plant monsters, but we do run a serious number of extra deck monsters, as well as a full plant monster build, except for like hand traps in the main build, so it's really not a big deal. Her second effect then allows you to target one plant monster on the field, and then every other monster that you control on the field becomes that monster's level for the rest of the turn. So that's really handy. This is a level 8, and so you can make everything else on the field level 8s or whatever else. If you have the level 1s, level 4, anything, you can manipulate the levels, and it really helps for your extra deck plays. So then going on, we have the 3 Rikka Petal, again pretty standard, but basically this card, it either lets you Foolish Burial a card to the graveyard or lets you add a monster to the hand, a Rikka monster specifically, added to the hand or sent to the graveyard. Then also what this card can do is that it can special summon itself from the graveyard as long as you only have plant monsters on the field during the end phase, so during your opponent's end phase. This also locks you into plant monsters with its first effect, just keep that in mind, but overall these 2 cards here are extremely needed at 3 of in the deck just to make sure to keep the consistency up. Another really great extender is Mudon, the Rikka Fairy. So what Mudon does is that you can tribute one plant monster in order to special summon this card from the hand, and then when this is normal or special summoned by the effect of a plant monster, you can then add one Rikka spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So it's really handy just to get some of those Rikka spells and traps that we have in the deck, and we do run quite a few of them, but we can run them at lower numbers just because this card really helps to increase the consistency. Then going on into the level 4, we have Primula, the Rikka Fairy. So what this card does is that if a monster that you control is tributed, you can special summon this from your hand, and then also once per turn you're able to target up to 2 plant monsters that you control and then increase their levels by 2 until the end of the turn. So it's really helpful for if you have like this along with the other level 4 monster or whatever else you have on the field to try to go into some of your other XZs plays and whatnot. So it's just really, really helpful for the deck. Then going on, we're going to have the 1 Hellebore and the 1 Erica. These cards work pretty similarly, so I wanted to talk about them together. The Hellebore is a level 8 and Erica is a level 6. And so what these cards do is that with Hellebore, when one of your monsters is targeted by a card effect, you can tribute this from your hand or field in order to negate the effect. And then what Erica does is if one of your monsters is battling, you can discard it from the hand or field in order to increase the attack of your Rikka monster by 1,000. So these cards kind of work the same since they're like little hand traps or field traps, but then also they have other graveyard effects. So Hellebore's second effect is that when it's sitting in the graveyard, you contribute a plant type monster and then special summon this card in defense position. It gets banished when it leaves the field. So Hellebore is more of a proactive effect where you tribute a monster with her effect to special summon. But with Erica, when a monster is tributed, you are able to special summon it to the field. So it's these cards kind of work in a proactive and a reactive manner, and they kind of work really well together depending on what your situation is on the board. The only downside is that they get banished once they leave the field, but they're really great little extenders. Then going on for our last one for the Rikkas is we have the 1 Cyclamen. Not really that good of a card for the deck. I could see this getting phased out at some point, but I want to put this deck together for the same build as what I'll probably have it when I have the new rank 4 monster in the deck, and I think it still has a place in here. But basically what this card does, you can tribute this card from your hand or face up on the field and target 2 plant monsters and then reduce their levels by 2, which is pretty nice again for going on into some of your extra deck plays. Then its second effect is that during the end phase, after it's been tributed and in the graveyard, you can special summon it to the field. However, it gets banished afterwards, but or after it leaves the field. But yeah, overall just a nice little extender. So that's going to do it for all of the Rikka monsters. Then we're going to go on into some of the other cards. We have 3 Evil Thorn. This card is just really nice, especially if you're trying to get into your Aromaseraphy Jasmine. But basically what this card does is that you can normal summon it, or however you want to get it onto the field, and you tribute this card in order to special summon the other 2 copies from the deck. So it's really unfortunate when you draw into it, but overall it's just a really nice little extender. Then we have the 3 Lone Fire Blossom, always needed for a plant deck, and then 3 Ash Blossom just for a little bit of hand trap control. And then finally just the 1 Spore. I really like having this in the deck. It's really neat for XZ plays and Synchro plays, obviously, but what this card does, it is a level 1 tuner, and then you can, if this card's in your graveyard, you can banish another plant monster in order to special summon it to the field, and then it gains the level of the monster that was banished by that effect. You can only use that effect once per duel, but overall it's just pretty crazy. The way that this works really well is sort of with, we have run quite a few of the level 1 monsters, and we have like level 3 right here. So if you banish an Evil Thorn with the effect of Spore, this becomes a level 2. And then if you have one of the level 4 monsters on the field, you can go into a level 6 play. Or if you have a Lone Fire Blossom in the graveyard, you can Lone Fire Blossom to special summon Spore to the field, and then if Spore goes into the graveyard, then you can banish the Lone Fire Blossom, summon Spore to the field as a level 4, and then go into some really easy level 8 plays. So overall, it's just a really nice card to have in the deck, and it really helps to extend into some of your better XC and Synchro plays. Going on into the spells, we are of course playing the 3 Rikka Glamour. So what this card does is it's really, really awesome. It's basically a Rhoda for the deck, that it adds a Rikka monster from your deck into your hand. But the other thing is that when you activate this card, you're able to tribute a plant monster, and then if you do that when you activate this card, you're able to add a second plant monster from your deck to your hand that has the exact same level. So that's why I really like playing the Spore in the deck, because you can search the Rikka Petal and the Spore at the same time, or you can add Snowdrop and Hellebore at the same time, as well as like Primula and Cyclamen and Mudon and your Erica. So that's really why you play these cards in these ratios. These are sort of like the best cards of their levels, and then these are sort of like the backups, which you can search with the extra advantage of this. The only thing to new players of this deck that I would say the biggest tip is to make sure that when you do the tribute part effect, is that you make sure that that is the best advantage that you can do. Don't just try to win more by getting more advantage into your hand, because a big thing that new players will do is that you activate Rikka Glamour, tribute whatever plant monster was on your field, and then you add the Snowdrop and then the Hellebore, but then that means that you have no monster on the field in order to tribute to get this combo off. So just always make sure that you have enough advantage on the field, otherwise this effect is really just going to flop off. So that's like the biggest pro tip that I can give for this deck. Then going on, we're playing, of course, 3 Called by the Grave, and then 2 of the Super Solar Nutrient. What this card does is that you tribute a plant monster, so it really works just with the great synergy of this deck, how we like to tribute stuff. But basically, you tribute a level 2 or lower plant monster, and then special summon a plant from your deck whose level is less than or equal to the tributed monster's level plus 3 from your hand or deck. So yeah, this card is just really interesting to just keep going on into those big plays. We have a lot of level 1 monsters, and then we also want to search out some of those other low level monsters, so it just works for really great synergy in the deck. Then going on, we have the 1 Rikka Flurries. What this card does is that if a Rikka monster you control is tributed, then you can make your opponent tribute one monster that they control of their choice, which is just really sweet. It's non-targeting and non-destruction removal, which is always great. That's always what we want. You just got to keep in mind that during your opponent's end phase, if you control a face-up non-plant monster, this card does get destroyed, but we generally only do plant monsters. Then just to round off, we have the Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, and one for one. You wish you could play more than one for one, but we only get one. So then going on into the traps, we have 2 Rikka Sheet and then 1 Rikka Tranquility. What Sheet does is that you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and then also you contribute a plant monster. And then that monster that your opponent controls can activate its effect. And then if you did attribute a plant monster when you activated this effect, you're able to steal that monster to your side of the field for the rest of the turn. And it also becomes a plant type. So that can kind of mess up with some of your opponent's other strategies. And then what Rikka Tranquility does is that it can basically give you a double Monster Reborn, because you, when you activate this card, you tribute a plant monster, special summon a Rikka from your graveyard in defense, and then if you tributed a monster when you activate this card, you get to special summon a second plant monster from your graveyard. So the Rikka Sheet and Tranquility, as well as the Glamour, just work really nice with that ability to tribute extra stuff to gain extra advantage. Now we'll go on into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, since I do play the Spore, the extra deck does look a little bit different, but I think that that's sort of the benefit of doing my own deck profile, is to just show you guys other options. But I am playing the 2 Teardrop. This card is just really nice. It helps you to tribute your opponent's monsters. It is a quick effect as long as you have plant material, which you will always have. And yeah, just tributing your opponent's monsters is just always such a nice little effect. Then going on, we have the 2 Kanzashi, the Rikka Queen. But Kanzashi is just really nice. I almost like her at times a little bit better than Teardrop, just because she's able to add a little bit of protection. But what she does is that if a monster is tributed, you can detach material and then target a monster in either graveyard and special summon it, and then it becomes a plant monster. Its effects are negated, but it's really nice to just pull a big boss monster out for some extra damage or link material, whatever you need it for. Then also, if a plant monster would be destroyed by a card effect, you can tribute another plant monster from your hand or field in order to negate the effect. So that's just really nice. This deck really has problems on 2 areas, one with removal of spells and traps, and then also with protection. So I do think that that is it's a much needed card to go into over Teardrop at sometimes, because you just need a little bit of protection so your board doesn't get blown up. Then going on, I play the 1 Aurea, the Sylvan High Arbiter. So this is a really odd choice to have in the deck, but basically the way that you get into this, because it is a level 7 and we play no level 7s in the deck, but if you do go into Spore and you banish your Erica or something, then this will become a level 7. And then if you have your Snowdrop on the field, you can make Snowdrop become the level of Spore, and then you can just XZ these into your Aurea. So really, really nice. I think that that's a little bit better than going on into like the Alsea, because I just don't find Alsea to really give you that much advantage or anything like that. Then going on, we also have the number 38 Hope Harbinger and Dingirsu, just because they're other level 8 or rank 8 options. Then for the rank 4s, we play Black Ship of Corn because it is a plant, as well as the Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome, just because it is an option for the deck. We play water monsters and we play level 4s, so I say why not throw those in here. Then also for other Spore plays, we have a Splendid Rose as well as a Stardust Dragon. You could also make this a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, or you can make like a Borreload Savage or something, but we don't do too many link plays in this deck, so I don't think Borreload Savage would be too good. But again, I've already sort of explained how the levels can line up to go into level 6 and 8 plays, so I'm not going to explain that anymore. Then going on, finally, we have 1 Relinquished Anima. You could also make this a Link Karibo if you want to. Really does not matter, but Anima just helps for like the control style or just a little bit of spare removal. And then finally, we have 2 Aromaseraphy Jasmine, which is just always nice to have in a plant deck. You can play it at 1, but I really like it at 2, because otherwise you will probably run out of the 1. But this does give you a little bit of added protection, and it just helps so much for searching through your main deck to get into those other plant monsters that you really want on the field. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this deck profile. Thank you guys very much for watching. I don't have much for like combos or anything to show you guys, and I've already sort of explained everything with Spore and other stuff that you can do. But if you guys want any more details on this, I can probably do a recorded video on Dual Nexus or EDO Pro or something like that. So just let me know in the comments what you guys think, and let me know if you guys are playing this deck or what else other deck profiles you guys want for the future. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.